Hey guys, it's Rachel from the Little Ring Lamb, and today I'm doing the Lunar Chronicles tag. So I was tagged by Tiffany from About to Read. You should definitely go check out her channel. And this book tag was created by Books Addict Guide. I'm on the website, or the blog right now, so I'm pretty sure that is the correct name. And you should definitely go check out their blog post, which I'll link in the down bar. I really liked it, and I think I really like book tags on blogs. I haven't really gotten into that field, but after reading this, I should definitely check out more. So yes, the Lunar Chronicles book tag is obviously based on the Lunar Chronicles series, and there's questions that correspond to parts of the series, and you answer them obviously with different books. So the Lunar Chronicles series, I read the first book, Cinder, and I was halfway through Scarlet about 2 years ago, so I really hope to pick up the series this year and kind of finish it off, because I was really enjoying it. It just wasn't what I was feeling like at the time to read the second book. So basically I was going to film this last weekend, but if you watch my Bad Back to Me, you know why that didn't happen. So these books, like when at the beginning of this video I was trying to sort them because I forgot which books correspond to which answer, so it's just a giant mess. I'm really happy that I organized them correctly now. So now we're going to get into the questions. If I'm looking down, I'm looking at my phone where I have the blog post and all the questions, obviously. So number 1, Cinder the Cyborg, a book that's often misunderstood or underappreciated. So for that, I picked Attachments by Rainbow Rowell. I've talked about this one before in quite a few tags, but out of Rainbow Rowell's books, like she had Eleanor and Park, which kind of broke out into the scene. I think this one came out actually before it. And then Fangirl just took over everything. Landline was the most recent, well, besides Carry On, but like when I haven't read Carry On. And then Landline was like the most recent one, besides that one, to come out. And I feel like this one kind of got swept under the dust, and this one is actually really, really good. It's at least before Landline, and like I'd say this one and Fangirl, like, up there in my first slot, and then Eleanor and Park, and then Landline. So I really enjoyed this, and I feel like it's not talked about as much as, like, Fangirl, for example, which Fangirl's really good, so, like, I'm not bashing on that, just I'm saying that it doesn't get as much attention. Number 2, Kai the Prince, a book about royals or royalty. I picked the Princess Diaries series, specifically Royal Wedding by Meg Cabot. It has the word royal in it. And the Princess Diaries series deals with royalty because Mia Thermopolis finds out she's a princess, and it's all about her life dealing with her dowager countess of a grandmother. Yes, it's her grandmother. I was confused. Her dad is a prince, and all that jazz. So she deals a lot of royalty and real life struggles. So for this tag, I tried to pick books that I don't really pick as often because I feel like I have my same few that I always go back to. And then I was looking at this question, Adri, the Evil Stepmother, a book of a horrible, cringe-worthy parent. At first, you know, you think of Pretty Little Liars because there's a lot of bad parents. But these parents don't hunt after their children. So I'm going to pick the mother. I forget her name. I believe it starts with an A. Amma? No, that's a sister's name. I don't think I'll be able to find it. But anyway, the mother from Sharp Objects by Gillian Flynn. She is creepy. She is horrible. Very cringeworthy. I was like, what? Like, yeah. I don't want to really explain the antics she gets into because it's a short book, and she does antics to protect somebody, but she's very cringeworthy, and I was like, I don't even understand how a parent could do that, but like obviously I know that it's a book, but you know, cringeworthy, like why? Like, it's your child, like don't do that, like stop. So Iko, the Spunky Sidekick, a book of your favorite happy-go-lucky character. And for that I picked Shopaholic to the Rescue by Sophie Kinsella. Well, not really this book specifically, but the whole series. Kind of cheating on this answer. But Becky Bloomwood is such a happy-go-lucky character. This book, she kind of went through some stuff, so she wasn't as happy-go-lucky in this book. This is just the one I had already out because I haven't shelved it with the other books yet. But I just like her character. She's usually very happy and spunky, and even when she's down, she still finds positive ways to push herself up. And I feel like a lot of the characters in this book are happy-go-lucky, especially her best friend Suze is very happy-go-lucky too, so she'd be another one from the series I pick. Scarlet the Rescuer, a book of a character on a mission. For that I picked Jaws by Peter Benchley. So Brody is on a mission to stop this shark so the tourism doesn't, like, because in the town, the tourism depends on like the beach life, and when there's a shark in the beach, the tourists are going to go away, and the summer's when they make all their money in this town. The winter is very dry. And Brody is about not destroying, but just getting the shark away, you know, mostly by lethal force because they don't want a shark infiltrating their good time of the year. So he is on a mission to abominate Jaws. And yeah, that's why I picked this one, because he's definitely on a mission to get the revenues up in the town and to protect people. But mostly, sometimes this book, it says it's motivated more by revenue than people, which, you know, is a little scary. But, you know, at least they're getting the shark away. So Wolf the Fighter, a book of a brutal fight with words or fists. So I picked Outlander by Diana Gabaldon because these characters have a lot to go through. Jamie has the law, like the law coming after him. Claire is, you know, they're along for the ride, and she has her own issues. So they're always getting in fights. They always have to be ducking for cover. And this book is quite long, and they have to go through a lot. Not really fights with words. Like, they're not, I wouldn't say, because they're going back in time. Obviously, if you know the premise of this book, Claire gets transported back to 1743 Scotland. So basically, they don't really have a lot of words of fights. There's more words like beating and fighting and running and, you know, all that jazz. So definitely a big fighting book because there's a lot of fights in here. Maybe not giant wars, but you know what? I don't read a lot of books with lots of fights, so this is the one I picked. So Levana, the villain, a book of the absolute worst villain. Now, this villain is horrible. I can't really explain too much about why this villain is horrible, but the book is Before I Go to Sleep by S.J. Watson. I'm actually seeing the movie tonight, so very excited about that because my friend got it on DVD. And basically, this book, like, it has the worst villain, like, in a contemporary, I would say. There's probably more bad villains that I've read, but this one always jumps out to me, and I can't explain who the villain is or what the villain does because I would give away a part of this book, but, you know, if you've read this, you probably know who I'm talking about, and that is just horrible, one of the worst things you can do. Throne, the Rascal, so a book of the biggest schmoozer. So I picked Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton. The reason being is Hammond is such a schmoozer. Now, Hammond, if you haven't read the books, he's in the movies, obviously. He is the guy played by Richard Attenborough, I think, and basically he's the one who is always like, we spared no expense, and he has that cane with the amber and the mosquito in it. Basically, he is the biggest schmoozer. Like, he in this book is always trying to justify his reasons because, yes, he's taking on a giant undertaking. This thing could go horribly wrong, but his way about talking about it and stuff, the passion he evokes definitely makes a hard sell for people to be like, no, that's stupid. Like, that's a dangerous idea. Well, not really stupid, but, like, that's not a safe idea, and we probably shouldn't be doing this. We probably shouldn't be going to the park in the first place because we could get killed. But the way he talks about it, he evokes passion. He says we spared no expense. He's so excited about every little bit of this park that it definitely schmoozes a person into staying in the park and, you know, just experiencing the park. Even if they think in the back of their mind, this could go bad, he's always there to be like, we have a world-class chef. We have the award-winning actress or actor who speaks, like, who, in the car, who is the guide. So, like, you get excited about all these things. So I think he is a giant schmoozer because the fact that these people who study dinosaurs know that this could go totally awry. Well, actually, they didn't even know that until they got to the island. But they didn't say, let me go home. They were like, whoa. So, you know. So Cress the Hacker, a book about technology or sci-fi. I picked The Future of Us by Jay Asher and Carolyn Mackler. This book, if you don't know, it's basically about two kids, Josh and Emma. And it's 1996, and they have, for their computers, they have like a CD, an America Online CD-ROM. See, I didn't know a lot about that because I was born in 95, so a little young to be doing that. But by the time I got to my internet life, you know, it was just internet cords. So they had to go through all this rigmarole to get the internet going, and they suddenly discovered themselves on Facebook. And the peculiar thing is Facebook was not invented in 1996. I forget what year it was invented, but at least the 2000s. So I feel like 2005, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, they find themselves on Facebook. This is all about technology and seeing how Facebook, and they're in the future too. It's not like their Facebook profiles from 1996. It's in the future. So they're seeing their grown-up selves. So this is definitely about technology and not really sci-fi, but more technology. So I picked this book. Even though it wasn't my favorite book in the land, it's quite interesting, and you can see all like the, I was going to say pixels, but like all the code and stuff on the outside of the cover. I don't know if you can see that as well, but yeah. So Erland the Doctor, a book of an illness or revolving around medical issues. So I picked Me Before You by Jojo Moyes. I hope I'm pronouncing the last name right. I'm always scared I'm not. But basically this book centers around Louisa, and she gets a job kind of taking care and entertaining Will Traynor. And he lived a really active lifestyle, and he suddenly finds himself being confined to a wheelchair. And I forget what he has right at the moment, what happened to him, but basically he is going through a lot, and this whole book surrounding around his medical issue and how his life quality was before, his life quality after, and trying to resolve some issues, but the whole book is very much dealing with his medical issues and basically about his life now that he has them. So it's very much, and a lot of the decisions he makes are around this. Everything is taken into consideration when they go out. It's very much centered around this. It's a beautiful book. I really enjoyed it. And I'm very excited because the movie's actually coming out this year, but it was very sad, happy. It was all the emotions. It was everything you want in contemporaries. Winter, the Unsound Mind, a book of the craziest character you've ever read. So I picked Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn, which is also what this person on the blog picked too that created this tag. This book, I'm not going to explain who the crazy one is because that would spoil it unless you've seen the movie and not read the book, or read the book and not seen the movie, you would know. But, you know, there's just a crazy one in this book. It's just like a mastermind. It's like, you have way too much time in your hands to be doing this. Like, please find a different hobby. Like, this is really creepy. This character is definitely really crazy, and I don't even want to get into it because I don't want to spoil it. So we're going to move on to the next question. Jackin the Soldier, a book of a military theme. For this, I picked Generals Die in Bed by Charles Yale Harrison. And this book I had to read for my first year longer genres English class. And this one has all to deal with war. And this is actually a book about kind of Canadian soldiers going to war. And this is a very emotional book, obviously when you're dealing with something like war. So it's definitely a military theme. The whole thing is about military soldiers and what they go through and stuff like that. And there's like some other issues that go on with that. But I'm not going to get into that right now because I haven't read the book in a while and I don't want to portray it wrong. So basically, as a Lunar Chronicles book tag, I'm sorry it was quite lengthy. I feel like I've been talking forever. So before I go, I'm going to tag 3 people. I'm going to tag Steph from the Book Hopper, Jill from Miss Ravenclaw, and Carrie from Book Lover 1989. And yes, I'll have all those links in the down bar. And thanks for watching. Bye.